I just remember even when the thought came up of like, okay, you need to make some money. Wouldn't it be cool if you could write? Like it was always that. And I think in our society, we have this thing I write about a lot called the starving artist narrative, where anytime you see any kind of like writer, creative type, they're penniless, they're broke. If they're a business owner, they can't keep the lights on. And so it was just kind of this narrative that I just really believed for the longest time. And then eventually I was like, you know what, this doesn't apply to me. And I think this was well before, creator economy had even really kicked off. And so, and even before COVID, but I just knew, or kind of mid COVID, but I just knew like, okay, I think there's something here. I know that the writing, there's like something magnetic about it for me. So like, what if I just leaned in and kind of figured out what that could look like and not really knowing what the next step was, but knowing it feels good in the moment. So I might as well try and see what it could look like.
I like this. I like the starving artist thing you're talking about here because my friend Elise LeMay always talks about this idea of, she's like, I feel guilty if I like don't bleed for the words either. Like it's a part of the whole process. Where it's like, it can't be simple or easy, or it feels like I'm doing something wrong if it is simple or easy, if it comes naturally to me because of that starving artist narrative that you're talking about. Like you can't, being good at it means you don't actually need to bleed for it. And you don't need it. I think it's super fascinating, this idea of like, well, if I'm going to be a writer, I have to struggle.
Mm-hmm. And it's true in it's especially if you're in some kind of service providery area, it's almost always the case that starving artist narrative kind of like leads over to those areas as well. I see it in graphic designers. I see it in consultants where if it's not the doing the work thing, it's the over complexity of the offers, or it's the, we need, 15,000 options or whatever else. Like it doesn't actually get to be as simple as like, it's your specific brain or your specific eyes on a problem. And it's just that magic that you have that no one else can replicate. And it's not for everyone. And that is the magic of it. And I think we lose that a lot in this like kind of, LinkedIn rat race, right? Everyone thinks they've got the number one best thing. But if we step back, there are literally billions of people. I don't remember the exact number now, like how many people are on LinkedIn, but there are abundant clients out there. There's enough clients. And especially if you're a service provider type, it's not like you need to sell 500 units of client work. We're talking about 20 people a year, right? Like the thing I think about a lot is like my audience right now is about like 7,000 followers all in across the internet. Literally, just to like run some numbers. If I converted 1% of my audience, my business would be extremely lucrative. 1%. So it's like people, I think, get so obsessed with this like more, quantity, whatever. And it doesn't matter. It's more about the quality of what you're doing and making sure that your service is, one, designed the way you want it to run, and two, told in a way where for the people that are the right fit for you, they're attracted to that. And also the people that are not the right fit, they're repelled and they're like, hell no, like either it's too expensive or you're not the right vibe, whatever the reason is. But we get so caught up in this idea that like you have to have this one perfect way of doing things that it causes us to dull the thing that makes us as service providers our like number one selling point, which is you and the way that your brain and your hands and your art or whatever like solves the problem at hand.
I could not agree more. And I've thought about this a lot. And I'm pretty sure it's because all the biggest people, all the biggest solos or creators, everyone sees them being a big creator and having a big audience and selling traffic-based programs or products or whatever. So they're like, it's a low ticket, low maturity, high volume. And they're like, oh, build a big audience. Like Justin Welsh is kind of like the guy in that space that everyone like occupies everyone's mind. And when they think about this stuff and they're like, oh, so $150 course, make millions. Like, let's do it. Publish nonstop, be omnipresent. But what you just said is what I keep telling people, which is like, you need like 10 people a year to say yes. Like a year. Like, and maybe if you're lucky or if you're good, they'll stick around. And then you need like 4 people or 3 people a year to say yes.
Yeah. Customer retention is like lifetime value of the customer, that is your gravy train, baby. Like, it's true.